doing here today?
We're gathered here today in beautiful St. Petersburg to go ahead and represent our 1,400 brothers and sisters that are Allegiant pilots. For 5 years now, 5 long years, we've been in negotiations with Allegiant regarding our pilot contract. We've been working under the same pay structure for the last 10 years now, and we haven't had adjustments since prior to COVID or since we've experienced the rampant inflation that everybody's so aware of. We want to bring awareness to the public of the situations that are facing our pilot community.
And what are you facing? We talked about
Saludos amigos de
bring us into your
TampaHoy.com.
home, if
Estamos
you will. What kind of
escuchando en estos
experiences are you
momentos
dealing with not
a
having those
uno de los
technical
pilotos
exams
de
before?
Well, right
Allegiant
now,
Air que está realizando,
we're
está
currently being
formando
paid
parte de las protestas nacionales en las que los pilotos de Allegiant Air están exigiendo un contrato justo. Durante la mañana de hoy, a las 10 de la mañana, iniciaron estas protestas nacionales en distintos aeropuertos de la nación en los que los pilotos están exigiendo a esta línea aérea Allegiant contratos justos. Más de 1.400 pilotos se han unido en esta acción y según el sindicato, mientras la compañía invierte en otras áreas, continúa pidiendo concesiones a sus pilotos en lugar de mejorar sus condiciones laborales. Y esta es la razón por la que los pilotos están saliendo hoy a la calle a exigir respeto y también contratos justos. Ellos dicen que sin pilotos no hay vuelos. Y nosotros aquí en tampahoy.com vamos a estar pendientes de todo este transcurso y vamos a seguir apoyando a estos trabajadores en su protesta para escuchar lo que ellos están exigiendo. Además, vamos a estar ahí pendientes si sus trabajadores responde a su reclamo. Así que quédense en tampahoy.com para que se mantengan al tanto de todo lo que acontece en esta información.
aircraft, we fly the same passengers. We want to be treated fairly, just like any other professional pilot.
How does it feel? Ballpark on what the numbers are specifically?
Right now, we're definitely 50% below what all of our other under industry peers are receiving. In the last 10 years, most of the pilot groups have received one and sometimes two different changes and updates to their work rules and also to their compensation. We're still working on an outdated contract from 2016.
Can you tell us what the average salary is there?
The average salaries are all different depending on what seat and what aircraft you're flying, so it would be misleading if I would give an average salary.
I mean, if you've been working on the same contract since 2016,
That's correct.
so much has happened since then. And being a pilot, and I mean, it's not an easy job. You've got crazy hours and everything like that, but the cost of living has skyrocketed since then. Are some of your pilots struggling with that?
A lot of our pilots are struggling. We have some of our newer pilots, some of our first officers that are newer to the airline, they can't even afford an apartment in the city that we live in. And right now, Allegiant, we bring this base alone brings 2.5 million passengers to the Tampa Bay area. This airport has an economic impact of $3.7 billion to the area. We work locally, and our model allows us to be home every single day. So Allegiant pilots, we're your neighbors, we're your friends. Our kids go to the same schools, and we're members of the community. And it's very, very difficult when some of our pilots can't even afford an apartment in the base that they live in and have to have roommates or rent rooms.
This is an informational ticket, but are you worried that this is going to get into a full-blown strike?
Right now, it's an informational picket, but our pilot group has voted, 97% of our pilot group has voted on a strike. Nobody wants a strike. We don't want to strike, the community doesn't want to strike, and management doesn't want to strike. But unfortunately, that may happen if we can't get on parity with our peers.
You feel like you guys are just not being treated well?
Allegiant has been deliberately delaying the contract negotiations for 5 years, and in doing so, we just want them to look us in the eye and come up and negotiate in good faith for a good contract. We don't want to hear canned statements from a PR specialist. We want just a real contract, a fair contract that everybody can be happy with and that we can grow the airline with.
My question to you is, I know you talked about some of your peers leaving this company and going to others. Why are you personally staying, and why are all these folks staying here behind you?
One of the reasons that folks fly for Allegiant is because it's a great airline. We love what we do and we love our passengers. We love the model that we have where we can spend time in the community and we're doing mostly day trips. But at some point it comes to a point where we have to make a fair living. And right now I've spoken and we're aware of a significant number of our pilots that say that they want to stay here but have already or plan to submit applications with other airlines.
That there's a possibility of a strike. What would that look like? Is it another week, another 2 weeks?
Currently we're regulated by the Railway Labor Act, so a strike has to be approved in Washington. So we don't have a firm date that is in the next week or 2 weeks. More importantly, we just want to come in, we want to do our jobs, and we want to go ahead and provide an outstanding service for our passengers, and we want to do so while we're making a fair living.
Traffic control and tough industry.
The travel industry has had a lot of challenges, from aircraft delivery delays to, we're coming off of COVID, aircraft delivery delays, ATC delays from staffing issues. The last thing we want to see is another instance or another challenge for the public in a strike. We want to have a fair deal. Airplanes don't fly without pilots, and we just want a fair deal, and we want to be treated fairly by our company.
How close are you guys to a possible strike?
It's been 5 long years that we've been in negotiations, and at this point, I don't know that we have a timeline or we're making significant progress moving forward. That's why we're here today, to educate the public of the potential that there could be a strike, or moreover, we're losing some of our most experienced and some of our most talented pilots. That's going to eventually cause staffing issues that could jeopardize local routes. The Bay Area depends on Allegiant for, one, the incoming economic impact that we bring, but also, our customers are community members that use our airlines to go visit their families and take vacations. We don't want any of that to stop. We just want to have a fair deal for everybody all aboard.